Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have two things to discuss today that have really changed my perspective. One is learning to watch people's patterns and move accordingly. Second one is to build for where you're going, not where you are. These are lessons that took time for me to learn, and honestly, I had to go through some tough times to really understand them. But once I did, everything made so much more sense. So if you've ever felt disappointed by someone, or if you've been wondering why things feel out of alignment, I hope that this message reaches you at the right time. So, I want to start with something that used to frustrate me. Have you ever felt like you give so much to someone, whether it's a friend, a partner, a family member, and when it's time for them to show up for you, they don't? So it used to hurt me a lot. And I would start questioning, did I do something wrong? Why aren't they showing up for me the way that I show up for them? Do they even care? Here's what I've learned: people show up in the way that they are capable of showing up, not always in the way that you want them to. And that difference is so important to recognize, because when someone consistently shows you how they operate, whether it's their lack of effort, their inconsistencies, their broken promises, you have to believe them. You can't expect them to change just because you would do things differently. I remember a time when I kept making excuses for someone else's behavior. They would go days without checking in. They would only hit me up when they needed something. And every time I tell myself, like, oh, they're probably just busy, oh, maybe they're going through something. But after a while, I really had to take a step back and be honest with myself that what they're doing is a pattern. And that pattern wasn't going to change no matter how much I wanted it to change. So, with that, I had to make a choice. I could keep expecting something different and being disappointed, or I could accept that this is how they operate and just move accordingly. And in that moment, I accepted it and I felt so much lighter. And I didn't need to hold onto expectations that were never going to be met. I didn't need to be angry or hurt. I just needed to acknowledge it, adjust, and move on. And the powerful part about all of that is that you don't have to stay in places that drain you. You don't have to argue. You don't have to beg for someone's time or effort. You can simply decide that if it no longer serves you, you can walk away. Truly, you deserve relationships, friendships, partnerships, family connections that feel mutual, that feel reciprocated. If you constantly feel like you're the one pouring and never being poured into, it's okay to distance yourself. While we're letting go of people and situations that no longer align, we also have to think about moving forward. Are you making choices based on your current circumstances, or are you making choices based on where you want to be? I had this realization when I was moving into my place. So, when I was packing up all of my things from my aunt's house, my aunt looked at me and she said, "Girl, you got a lot of stuff." And in that moment, I was like, you know what? I do have a lot of stuff. And it looked like clutter, right? But when I got into my new apartment and started putting things into place, donating what didn't fit, repurposing what I could, I realized something. I wasn't just carrying a lot of stuff, I was preparing for my new space. Everything I had, even when it seemed like too much at the time, was actually meant for where I was going, not where I was. And that's the lesson right there. And I'm so grateful that I've always had that mentality. When I was younger, I was always moving, I was never in one place. And that really taught me to make sure that I'm prepared for what's to come. Make sure that I'm always good. Like my friends always tell me, like, girl, you have everything. Like, whenever I need something, you got it. I wanted to prepare myself for what's to come because I knew that I was destined for more and that I still am destined for more. This is only the beginning. And once you believe that and you start preparing for what's to come, you are making room for the new. And so let's also talk about this on another level, right? So sometimes we feel weighed down by everything happening in our lives, the responsibilities, the struggles, the constant effort to improve. But what if everything that you're going through right now is preparing you for what's to come? What if the things that feel like too much, the late nights where you're working on your dreams, the sacrifices that you make, the challenges that come up, are all leading you to where you're meant to go or what you're meant to have? When you start building for where you're going and not where you are, your mindset shifts. You stop making decisions out of temporary emotions. You stop holding on to things that no longer align with your future self. You start trusting that everything that you're doing now will later pay off. And that's the thing. Most people stop because they don't see instant results. They quit the gym because they don't see instant results within a month. They give up on a project because the success isn't immediate. But what if you just kept going? What if you trusted that every effort, every investment in yourself was preparing you for something bigger? With all that said, watch people's patterns and move accordingly. Don't force connections that are not meant for you. Protect your peace. Protecting your peace is your choice. We always have that choice to protect our peace. Make sure that you put that at the forefront because you always want to pour into your own cup. You always want to pour into yourself first. And also build for where you're going, not where you are. Trust that everything happening at this moment and happening right now is leading you to where you have to go. And if this message spoke to you, drop a comment down below. Don't be shy. I'm so happy that you're here. And I'm curious, have you ever had a moment where you thought you were preparing for something bigger? I'd love to hear your experiences. And as always, if this helped you in any way, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And share this with someone who needs to hear this message. I appreciate you all so much. I will see you in the next video. Stay radiant.